Hello and welcome to UKVersus episode 5, where we're going to be going over our philosophies of deck building. You're joined by Dabby Guy, Brett Pendragon, and Shin Enthusiastic Beyond Compare, Richard.
I'm I'm the other guy.
You're the
You're the
other
dabby
guy.
guy. I'm the other guy. That's it. But yeah, hi everyone. Yeah. So we're just going to go through a deck build, and we put something on Facebook earlier. Let everyone choose. Also, you need to move your chat thing further down, so it's not got
Well,
the icon
that's
down.
just the stream element stuff. It should come up there, but I've got it set up like this because of the if I just get up because of where the deck builder is going to be.
Okay, cool. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, we put up a poll earlier on Facebook. Let everyone choose. We had sort of three we had in mind to let them pick between, and in the end, Sir Nighteye came out. So we're gonna go through and build him,
There were some
just
very
sort of
good
from scratch, really.
options. I'm surprised that Overhaul or Kirishima 3 didn't make an appearance on there. I'd been very excited to build a Lock, but Tonight Eye is one that's been on people's radar and it's a very interesting one to build.
Yeah, I wanted to sort of that's the initial three I put up there. I wanted to sort of have some interesting ones. So I thought Nighteye would be interesting, and we talked about that anyway. I think Tarbe's interesting, and obviously I want to build Shin, but I
Yeah,
can do that on my own time. That's fine. Um, but yeah, so I won in a narrow victory over Tarbe. Um,
very close.
yeah, so I guess sort of to begin with, we can go over sort of I guess how we deck build.
Well,
Um,
let's make this new player friendly as well. So
yeah, yeah,
outside of creating a poll, or if you go on Discord on the main Discord, there's a wheel that Lenoco set up, which allows you to just go and spin the wheel to build a character, which is a little bit hard for new players. How would you, Richard, go about selecting your character if you're building a deck for locals or provisional or an upcoming big event?
So I think for me the big thing is finding a hook. Like that's the thing. It's like okay, what do I want to do? Like, and it could be a number of things. So it could be a case of Deku's my favorite character, so I'm gonna build a Deku and go from there. Or I want to play a ranged deck, so I've got all these cool ranged cards. I'm gonna go something around that. Or I want to build a mill deck. Or or I want to play like a foundation destruction deck, or I want to build a defensive deck, or I want to build like a momentum and then dunk him out with some big thing deck. I want to find the hook, right? I want to find what my deck wants to do first, kind of.
So you want to
Like,
decide how you want to play the game and then find a character
yeah, and
that
not
matches
even
that.
necessarily even that. It's just like your spark of inspiration, right? Your thing that you're wanting to do with and what your sort of outcome is, right? Your outcome could be I want to play Deku. Your outcome
Yeah.
could be I just want to blow everything up. Your outcome could be I want to build a really aggressive aggro deck. It could be I want to build a control deck. Like and I think that sort of should be your starting point because obviously there's lots of choices. There's lots of cards that go in say the same things. There's lots of cards that go in different directions. So it's trying to find what your focus is, what your hook is, and sometimes what your hook is doesn't end up necessarily what your end result is, but like that's your starting point. So for sort of take an example for me when I was building All for One, I'm like okay, I came across Tape Swing and I thought actually putting his damage on Tape Swing would be really cool because it says non-throw, but you get to cheat with Tape Swing and it gives you
Yeah.
free momentum effectively. You can loop it every turn. That sounds like a really cool thing to do. I'll build a deck around doing that and went from there. I thought, okay, so it's got to be on Void. Went with the kick package. He's got a damage on face, he's got some defense on face, defensive foundations went from there. And in the end, I ended up cutting the tape swings now. So it's not sort of anywhere near the initial hook, but it got me into building it and
But yeah,
got me
the
that version one, which then got refined later on down the line.
evolution of deck is something we'll cover as we go on. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's deciding on how you play your character is entirely down to the subjective matter. I know locals Andrew and Kai, who got into the top 16 of the EURLE, just decide I want to play this symbol or this character. So for Andrew,
Yeah.
it's Deku and it's good. For Kai, it's I'm playing Kirishima and I'm playing every single card that's got Kirishima's face on it, and that worked out very well for him in Sheffield. It does a lot of work, and those kind of fringe decks can do very well because you can come across an established character and like, okay, this is how they're going to play it, and then they hit you with this completely new playstyle. For me, I I come across like a card or a couple of cards, and I go, this interaction's really fun. How can I manipulate that action? So for me, when I first made Dabby, it was because main deck were doing a villains league for webcam, and I went,
Yeah.
"Oh, I like double jump pummel. I like the way it goes, but I want to make it more threatening. I want to make it so it has to be blocked." And I was like, "What characters can do that?" And I was like, Dabby can do it," and that's worked out really well for me. When it came to Mina, it was because I like Award the Victor. I like it in All Might 7, but then someone suggested try it on Mina, and it was just so much more consistent on the Mina that, as Mike Cardamon puts it, I chickened out of playing All Might 7
Mm-hmm.
because of how much better Mina was at doing what I wanted the deck to do. So it's a complete subjective way to do it, and it's one of those things that, especially as a new player, build around what you love. If it's characters, if it's cards, if it's symbols, build around what you love and grow your knowledge from there.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's like that's your hook, right? You want to find your hook for your deck rather than just making a pile. That's how you build a deck rather than a pile of cards. Sometimes you can get away with just making a pile of cards, i.e., looking at the Earth symbol, where you can just take a bunch of Earth cards, slap a your character on it, and it's probably fine, right? Because
We've got
yeah,
Sabri in the chat saying that their plans are for Bullet Punch Rapper to go bro, and it also works for Kirigiri too. Yeah, and I think Mina 1, Kirigiri 2, and Mr. Compress have all received little subtle buffs with these ways, with these new cards of if you play them from other places, because they're cards that people now have to go back and go, how much more viable are these cards with these new attacks or these new foundations?
yeah. But yeah,
Um,
I was saying it's finding that hook, finding the
yeah,
thing you want to build your deck around. So you're building a deck rather than a pile of cards. And that that could be I love double jab pummel. I don't know. We've never heard you say those words before. And how do I force people to block it? Okay, I'll put Dabby's damage on it. They have to block it now.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's your hook, and then you build the deck from there. Or
You either engineer the deck from the character, or you reverse engineer the character from how you want your deck to run.
yeah,
And same
yeah.
with
I mean, it doesn't really matter necessarily the way you go about it, but it's finding that hook initially. So
yeah,
I guess our hook for today is we're building Sir Nighteye, and that's sort of where we go from there. Is okay, what are his strengths, what are his weaknesses, what symbol are we using, what are we going from there?
because
Um,
every symbol has its own identity, which means they interact
yeah,
different with the board, and also your opponents will interact differently with you depending on the symbol as well. I'm going to change my playstyle if I come across a good Giro versus an air Giro because it's a completely different playstyle, and that's one of the things
yeah,
that you pick up. That's why I always say to new players, this game is easy to learn but very hard to master because you need to also be very well versed in how different decks play different styles, and you need to be very flexible in changing how you're playing the game very quickly depending on what your opponent's doing.
yeah. And it's like it's one of the biggest strengths of the game is that deck building. Like a lot of people always compare. Like I said, the game is a deck builder's paradise, right? You've got so many character options. Each character has like the three different symbols. They all play differently. And like three people's build on a character on a symbol would be likely to be quite different, and not necessarily one's going to be better than the other. And again, it's that building what works for you and playing with those cards and then refining and stuff like that. And there's just so many options, so it's just a lot of fun, right? That's
Exactly.
one
In
of
the last couple of RLEs, we've seen what was it? Kansas City. There was 6 recovery goals, but it was a mixture of good and life. In the webcam, there was fourth kinds, but there was Earth and Order. It's although the same characters can be represented high up and can be seen as top tier. The way they play is dramatically different depending on the symbol that they're getting played. And
yeah,
I know Earth fourth kind is an absolute monster, but it does not see anywhere near as much play as Order.
yeah. Okay, so should we have a look at the Sir Nighteye and get and sort of maybe try and decide first of all, I guess, a symbol and just have a look at the character, what we think, how we're going to build him.
So, looking at Sir Nighteye, we're looking at 627 health, pretty much standard what you
Yeah.
health total. Let me just pull up. I should have had it ready on UVS, but I've got it up on the stream. Response.
So he has got all, death, and order.
Very good symbols.
Yep.
First response once per turn after an attack is completely blocked. Seal one non-character card in your rival's stage or card pool and draw one card.
Yeah.
Absolutely solid ability. Cannot complain whatsoever.
So he's got some amount of defense on face, right?
Yeah.
So that's defense, and he can also obviously use it offensively as well. Is that completely blocked? So you want to sort of maybe encourage people to not to be completely blocking your stuff. So you want to be stacking damage, or you're making it hard to do, or
as we've had as that was pointed out to me, throw is a response on block as well. So it would you get that throw response before Sir Nighteye, so you cannot stop throw. But this is a shame. But you can stop breaker. You can stop faith shield. You can because you can go for the card pull as well, which is always very powerful. And then you can go for those pesky foundations that are causing you trouble on defense as well. Or on offense, if one with nature was still around, just being able to go, I'll completely block this one and I'll turn off your one with nature would be really powerful.
Yeah, exactly. Or snack time probably and going forward. I think
snack time, prone to dry eyes, unbreakable. There's a lot of stuff you can get with that. And then, would you like to cover the enhance?
Yeah, sorry, it's a bit small on my screen. Enhance your attack. Remove the top card of your deck. Discard the top 3 cards of your rival's deck. Remove all non-attacks discarded this way. Your attack gets +1 speed for every 5 cards your rivals removed from game pile. So removing 3, you're on average going to mill a 1 attack and then 2 non-attacks, right? So you're going to get 2 in them. So looking at the character, he's got that offensive ability, which is putting the speed on stuff. Your opponents don't want to necessarily completely block stuff because you just get to seal their stuff and then draw more cards on your turn. So just think from an offensive perspective. So both of these things say, I'm getting speed on my face. I'm making it punishing for you to full block. So you want to sort of half block or maybe not block at all. Therefore, we want to find things that are putting damage on stuff, right?
Yeah. That first response is all about you don't want to completely block me because you don't want your foundations or your blocks sealed, and you don't want me drawing more cards. You do not want to turn Nighteye into a 7-8 hander. We know from
exactly.
Tokiyami, we know from All Might 3 how dangerous those characters can get.
Okay, so before we go any further, obviously we should cover the elephant in the room, and that is mill. Right? A lot of people love it. I don't. I don't think mill is in general a good strategy. This is something that's been covered to death. And I think it's fine when you're still actually using it as a tool to kill people, but it's bad when it's your main strategy. Hence why I'm saying we should not be playing Gutshot in this bloody game.
I think mill is perfectly fine as a fun sort of kitchen top ability to have.
Yeah, I don't hate that it exists, but I'm never going to play it. I don't find the experience fun.
Yeah, it's when you're seeing repeated mill winning events through mill that it gets that toxic way, because it's the same sort of thing as one with nature or when Asui was on top and it was these oppressive gameplay styles that you do not have any way of interacting with. You cannot interact with mill. Mill is completely uninteractable. You can, unless there's a way of you be able to restack your deck very quickly, like Kurigiri one, which isn't the greatest strategy.
It's just when it's good, it's usually toxic and makes for very unfun and uninteractive games, and you just end up defending and let's not worry too much about it. But I don't think that's the path they're going to go down.
I'm a big fan of mill. I like mill in formats, but I agree it should not be your primary win condition. But I do like the fact that now we have a legitimate new kind of win condition in this game. This game has needed a secondary win condition for a while, and there has been hints of Mill going along that way. Sir Nighteye is a good nod to that, and I do love his ability to keep your opponent in attacks, which means that at some point in the game, your opponent is going to be drawing all red. So you need to either be super defensive or be prepared for that time where your opponent's going to be drawing 6 or 7 pure attacks, and they know that they're also just going to be checking that. But if you're up against a Rapper, if you're up against other check manipulation, they're going to be able to handle that. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Nighteye comes into the meta. But I think in Sealed, he could be a bit of a bomb, because a 40-card deck that's losing all of his foundations could be a bit of an issue.
Yeah. But I mean, that aside, so for me, looking at his face, like I say, we want to be putting damage on stuff. We want to be blocking their stuff, right? So we can get the once per turn on the opponent's turns to get a card, seal their good defensive stuff. So, we want to have some amount of like speed hate, that sort of thing, just ways of getting that full block off early, sealing their snack times or what have you.
I do
obviously
like,
redrawing that card.
It's a shame it doesn't share any symbols with like Faith Shield or the other things where you can get that, where you can also punch for half block, but you kind of were wishing you had a way to change your opponent's block zones so you could also.
Well, there's ways of doing that, right?
Yeah.
There is ways of changing your opponent's attack zone. I think Mike called that one out, wasn't it, on Death, which is it Chimmerman? Oh no, I know. I don't think that was one what you're talking about. It's
what's Maze
it's
Castle?
the new one, isn't it?
Yeah. What's Maze Castle?
Twisty Surroundings, I think. Twisty something.
Twisting Surroundings does not share a symbol. Earth, Evil, Fire.
Oh, okay. So, that one's out. But I think there's ways of changing. I mean, Tape's probably the obvious one. We can change things to mid.
If you go in order, yeah.
Is order on all as well? Tape on all? I can't remember.
Must be.
I think it's on all.
No, order, void, and water.
Okay. No.
But yeah, so that's what, going back into what we were saying before, the change how you build a deck will change. Like, so if we built on void, that's going to make us much more defensive. But if we built on death, we're going a much more offensive line. And if we build on all, we're probably going a bit more of a mid. I forgot what the term is.
Mid range.
Mid range. That's the one. You're going more of a mid range sort of style where you sort of like 1-2 and then pulling back, 1-2 and then pulling back.
Yeah. Okay. So what symbol do we want to do? Chat. You got any preferences?
I do have a lovely wheel if there's not enough people who want to chat, but I am more than willing to let chat decide what symbol we're going to go off here. We've probably already got a bit of theory crafting for each one on there. I'll wait for any chat going there. So how's the theory crafting for Shin coming? Now we've got all of here. We haven't seen Plus Ultra. We haven't seen provisionals, which are starting really quickly. Yeah,
I've played around a little bit. I haven't gone too much into it. Just looking at Evil, really, and I just kind of basically I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I want to play Vile Seizing, I want to play Decaying Palm Slam, I want to play his attack, and then I kind of just get lost in terms of what the rest of the attack lineup looks like. Because that's the thing I need, for me, when I'm deck building, that's like the focus of the deck, right? Then you build the foundations around that. It's what's your attack lineup, and then how are your foundations supporting that or filling up any holes in your character and stuff like that. So yeah, for me, getting the attack lineup right first is where I start at. So I tend to do, like when I'm going through UVS and I'm building a deck, is I'll get my attacks to my baseline attack lineup that I want. I'll then look at any sort of actions and assets that I might want to include, and then I go to the foundations. And I
See,
usually end up with like a pile of 80, 90 cards, whatever. And then I'll like trim it down.
yeah, that's what I can do. I just go for UVS and go, this looks interesting, this looks interesting, and then throw it all in
Yeah,
there. And then I look at like this 100 card pile I've got and go, okay, look at the attacks. What synergizes here? What do I want my attack lineup to be? I then cut down my attacks. I then go to actions. Go, okay, what actions and assets do I want? And then this might be a bit controversial, but I then go look at my block zones, and I go, okay, if I'm running a 60 card deck, and I go, okay, I've got 20 low, 20 high, and then I've still got 40 mid. I go to my foundations, and I'm primarily just going to be cutting mid.
yeah,
I'm okay.
yeah. I do something along those lines.
I'm okay on high,
So,
I'm okay on low. I want to prioritize getting these mid down.
so we have all
Yep.
as our only suggestion. So
I'm just
yeah,
gonna spin the wheel for my own health to see what it come up with, and it came up with all.
Okay. Then I guess we are doing on all.
All right. So
Okay.
You want to start with attacks?
Yeah. We'll start with attacks. And obviously, one thing to note is he is not keyword gated at all, right?
No, that's I was literally thinking. Do we just go punch stuff?
No, punch stuff's boring, and also, well, I mean, his kit's quite good.
I get that, but if we you want to put in stats on there, he puts speed on himself. So if we went rapid punches, valiant assault, focused on the draw aspect of punches, and then with a prone to dry eyes or snack time, guarantee those attacks coming through and they're coming through for some damage.
Yeah, we need damage. Obviously, he's only a 6-hander. So, okay, so looking at his stuff, so counter sweep, blah, blah, blah. That's a nice draw. So kick and slam. So I don't know all kicks, whether that's necessarily a thing. Again, we don't necessarily need to keyword gate us here at all, right?
Yeah, that's why I suggested the punch first, because that would be the only key gated one we want to go. Even because you've got the combo with Valiant Assault and you've got the combo in Texas Smash. But again, it's one of those things that if we were going to take this to event, as soon as we put down all, the first thing that went through someone's head might be, this is a punch deck.
Yeah, nah, let's not bother. I don't want to do punches. Punches been done a million times.
But,
let's try and find something more interesting.
Do you know what is on all?
What?
Focused attack.
Again, funny punch has been done a million times.
It hasn't been done.
I want to find something interesting to do with this guy, right?
But he's so fast. He makes them so fast. You just keep.
He does eventually, right? So he does stuff. What? So stamp out is one of his things. He's trying to combo his slams here, right?
Yeah.
Um.
Well, I'm gonna quickly go down. Wow, there's a lot on all. Let's focus attack.
Oh.
I went a bit too far. I'm just gonna quickly check what pillar swing is on, which is probably not on the symbol.
Pillar swing's not on all.
No, it's not. That makes me sad. This staff strike could go weapons.
Again, I just want to kind of make this interesting, right? So let's just look at his kit and see what stuff from there we want to maybe use, because naturally that's like I think a good starting place for building a deck on a character is look at their kit. Because their kit usually works with their character quite well. You don't necessarily always use it, but
So I have gone through to a card that I did want to put through if we went on to all, and that's Hardened Steel.
Hardened Steel is fine, right? It's not bad.
It's a 4/3 that can worse stay as a 4/3 if they're running a 0 block modifier, but in Sir Nighteye it can become you remove the top card of your opponent's deck, and then you get to remove yours and move maybe 2 more, which means you can get more speed, which make it 6-7 mid, which is not a bad setup.
No, again, it's fine. It's a low block, so not an unreasonable thing to add in. I mean, rapid punches possibly just because it's rapid punches, right? So I think we can put those just on just stick these as like one-offs for now, just as like options.
I put them as 4 because we can edit them as we go along. Cat Punch.
I love Cat Punch.
A 2/6 which we give speed to a block draw, commit foundation, more speed.
And again, that's just is so basically that says if you block it, if you half block it, I draw. If you full block it, I draw two.
Perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
Um.
Which is
Yeah.
just pure value. It's basically going. I can draw 2 cards for free if you block. If you full block it, draw 1.5 block, or you take a mac. You take 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
Put that in.
And again, it's got a start. It's a 4. It's got a nice high starting attack. Sorry, damage.
Now, if we were moving away from punches, which I'm adding them in, but we'll talk about it when we come to slim down deck. Electromagnetic Stomp. Stun
Yeah.
1, kick, tech. Goes to momentum, add it face up. Momentum, commit 1 foundation, add it back to your hand.
Yeah.
Guaranteed attack as long as it keeps hitting. So 1 low block, which is amazing. Probably not going to be running any assets, so that we don't really get anything on that second ability. But the ability to go, you need to block this, or I'm going to be hitting you with it every turn, is very good.
Yes. So it's also really nice just to always be able to pick up a 1 low, right?
And like you said, he has kicks in his pool. He's got his attack as well.
Yeah, again, we can add that on the consideration block. So let's go back to his kit,
Yeah,
right?
let's go back to the start. We've started at the bottom for some reason. Counter sweep just seems good.
Okay, so enhanced forever has what? Because I need to read some of these cards. If your rival has more removed cards and you draw 2 cards, that's always likely to be a thing. It's just a free draw 2. Commit 1 foundation, move the top 2 cards around discard pile. Again, the commit to remove 2. I think you only ever use that when you're putting yourself over a breakpoint for the +5 speed, right?
Yeah.
Or the plus speed. Otherwise, it's just not worth the resource. But it's got powerful. It's a nice. It's a nice momentum out.
It's also
What is it? What's its base stats? Is it a 3/6?
3/6 low.
Okay, so yeah, again, it's a good, nice high. It's a high block. It's a draw 2. I think that goes in on the options.
It's also
Because
really
again,
good if you're against, say, a Jiro or against a Momo who has a lot of recursion. Those top 2 cards of the discard could be very powerful. Could be cards that you want to get rid of.
Yeah, it's an option. Like again, I don't know if you're necessarily using it, but it seems decent. Just you're likely to always have more removed cards, right? So that's just a free draw 2.
Precision
And
Seal Strike, Range Slam Tech, a 3 mid for 5 damage. Your rival reveals the top 3 cards of their deck. You may discard any of the revealed cards. This way, return the rest to the top of the deck in any order. Solid ability.
yes.
If your rival has lost 1 or more, if your
Again,
rival
it's very mid. It's a 3/5. It's not too bad on a 4 difficulty.
well, you've got this second ability, which is if your rival has 1 or more sealed foundations, change this attack zone.
Yeah.
Which is the big ability.
Yeah. It's fine. I mean, add it in, but it's probably one of those cards that we're going to end up cutting.
I think it will be a case of it'll either be this or Electromagnetic Stomp, because they kind of same block zone, same speed. I like that top one because it at the moment. God, I'm always going to keep taking back to because at the moment Jiro is queen.
Yeah.
And having your rival not be able to Jiro until you've used that enhance is very powerful, and being able to mess with
and on anyone else, it kind of means that their next check is terrible, right?
Yeah, and you're not limited, so you can just look and see 3 attacks and be like, you know what, all 3 go. I want you to cycle quicker.
Yeah.
Repeated Seal Toss. It's got a check ability. It's a 5 cost, 4 high for 5, range slam, stun 1 tech. Gotta love all that. Response: remove 1 card from your hand after you check this card to play or block with an attack. Seal 1 rival foundation. Add this card to your hand. It's a 2 mid box, so it's always good to have in hand. Decent ability. Enhance. Reveal the top 2 cards of your rival's deck and replace them in any order. If you revealed an attack, this attack gets +2 damage.
I don't know how much I like this. Like, because you're checking a 3, right? For that to be good, you've checked a 3. to use the response.
Yeah.
And yeah, you get to pick up an attack, but it's a 5 diff later in your chain. I don't know that I want to play this card. I mean, it's fine. It's not got exciting stats. Yeah, it's got stun 1, but this card doesn't excite me.
Now, to me, this feels bad early game, but if I've already set up my foundations, if I've already set up the way I'm going to be playing this game, or if I've got Platinum or Spoken in my hand, because it's on order, and I believe not all, it's on air now, but it's on order. So if I can remove a Platinum or Spoken, pick this up, and then play the Platinum or Spoken later on in the turn, I'm okay with that.
I mean, it doesn't really matter what you're removing, right?
Yeah.
You're just placing any old foundation in your hand for an attack, which is fine, but it means you've checked a 3, so it's bad. So the chances you're never going to be able to play this, even let's say you play your first attack, you play a 5 because you always leave your 5s.
Yeah.
You check a 3, you commit 2. You check this, you remove 1, pick it up. Are you really playing this on a 6 when you've just committed 2? Like, I don't know. This feels like it's fine, and it's not even got like the most amazing block. It's just a 2 mid. It's okay.
I don't think we put it in, even with the reveal 2 abilities for extra damage, but I do see this scene play midnight.
Maybe, but even then, it's yeah. I'm not a huge fan. So yeah, we can skip on.
Because in midnight this is a minimum of an 8 for 6, which is I'm happily playing an 8 high for 5 damage, 7 damage if I get lucky on the reveal.
Mm.
It's a shame it's not like Frigid where you get +2 for each attack you reveal. It's just the standard 2.
Yeah.
If it was, if it was, it gets +2 damage for each attack revealed, then that's an instant slamming.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you get to steal one of their defensive pieces, but still, yeah, I don't know. So stamp out 2 damage reveal top by the time attack. After one because of that, during this enhanced step, let's get +2 speed, so it's a 2/5. You really want to be comboing it, right? And we're probably not necessarily playing enough slams.
Well, I mean, at the minute, apart from, we've added a lot of punches, but it depends on which we go. But this would essentially start to lock us in. But as we go into the Yojo cards, we can see that they also are slams. So it could be a way to go, but we can.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at Crystal Chokeslam, right? So this attack deals damage. Your next attack this turn gets +X speed. X equals the damage dealt. That's okay. It's got a high damage. No, it's a 5 diff for 5 or a throw.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan.
It's also the fact it's a 2 check.
Yeah, I don't think it's good enough in our deck to warrant the 2.
I'm just gonna add a couple of stamps out to the side because
we might get enough. Crystal Clash. We're not playing cards from other out than our hand, so we can skip that one.
And it's self mill, which isn't great. Crystal Sword Cutter 4 cost 4/4.
We're removing cards again. I don't like that card.
Yeah. We're discarding from self mill, which isn't great.
Again, self mill doesn't really matter, but we're not doing anything with it, so it's.
But we don't want to be self milling and then using that as the ability to remove the top card of our deck because
we're just removing 1 card. It doesn't matter.
But if we're moving 3 for the attack and then 1 for Sir Nighteye, that is what. Maths. What 15% of the deck?
Yeah, doesn't matter. Like it literally doesn't matter. Like we're not doing anything on face with our discard pile, so it doesn't really do a lot. Borrow Goods, we're not really doing face down stuff. Force Light Fuser, just look at the top part of the deck, may discard it. Nice, so it's a 4/4, enhance them a card type. Maybe it might cantrip.
It's a slam, which is quite interesting.
Again, it sort of works with him, right? So you do the top 3 and then you're like, oh, I'll name attack. Oh, look, it's an attack. I'll draw a card.
It's also a 4, so if you play it after the other, like, when you move revealed cards and put them back on top, we then go, oh, I know it's a foundation. So you get...
And it sort of guarantees your check a bit. Well, again, it's an option, but probably not. But I'd say put it in there.
No.
It's a slam if you want to do slam things.
Exactly. We got Insatiable Appetite, add one rival, no, that's a Tepe one, so this tag gets +2 speed and +1 damage for each card that has left your rival's card pool.
We're not doing that.
Might not do anything like that, which is still really good.
Lockdown, knockdown. No. There's a slam. Commit a foundation for an extra damage and stun. I'm out. I'm off it.
Locked up, I don't think is good here, but I think in other decks it's going to see a lot of play. It's a 4 mid for 5 cost. It's got stun 1 as base. If it deals damage, freeze 1 foundation committed from the stun, which is great. Discard momentum. This attack gets +1 speed for each committed rival foundation. We're not worried about adding more speed. If it was damage, yeah. If this was 1.3 with better speed, I'd be all down for that.
No, we need to be putting damage on stuff. Like we put speed-ish on face, right? So
if we were going down the punch lineup where we were drawing lots of cards with Valiant Assault, we were drawing lots of cards with Rapid Punches, and we were doing the prone to dry eye strategy where we were placing cards that we were getting with prone dry eyes, I'd happily play this on an 8, commit 5, and have it come in as like a 8 mid for 7 or 8 mid for 8. But given that we're not really drawing as much as we could be.
Well, we're going to have 4 chivalrous in the deck, right? I mean,
we're going to have 4 chivalrous, but we're probably going to end up cutting the rapid punches if we're going down the slam line.
Not necessarily, but we'll see. So, point blank shot, we're not doing that thing. Chronostasis trigger, we're not evil. So, the end.
Yeah, and we've not played it from the zone, so we don't get to commit 1 rival foundation. Carolina Smash. It's not as consistent as we probably like. It's nice deadlock though.
Yeah. No.
Counter Smash, Fury Punch. Add 1 card from your stage to the top of your deck.
No, you don't want to DVO yourself. Obviously, Final Smash is just very good for guaranteeing your checks. So I think that just goes as an option just because it's Final Smash. Again, we're not necessarily going to be key locking ourselves. Hello deck who plays Fortnite.
And we're not getting hello Deco, yeah. We're not getting stats on our face, so the games are going to go quite long, which means we're going to guarantee that Final Smash does get that -2 and be able to stack the top of our decks even if we can't draw. We do know what we can remove stuff that we do like to remove. We can choose what we're going to remove from our ability.
Yeah, Intimidating Charge. Knee Smash, I know Mike loves it. I know Intimidating Charge is a slam, but I'm not off. I'm off it.
If top carry discard pile as an attack, this attack gets +2 speed. It's great for a string, but I don't think we need it here.
Yeah.
This guy deck is blocked.
Again, it's just a high damage attack, right? That we're in theory going to put some speed on. It kind of builds a stuff.
Oh, you're on about Knee Smash now. Knee Smash 4, cost 1, high for 6. Remove 1 foundation if the top card of your deck is discard is a foundation. Build it, flip 1 foundation if the top card of your deck is discard is an attack.
Again, it just punishes a full block, right? So I think Knee Smash is just an option. It's just a high damage 4 diff that has some nice enhancers.
It's very quick, so yeah, we're keeping out of that keyword typing, but. Yeah,
but again, add it in and we'll see, because we may end up like ditching the slam thing.
At its most powerful, it's a 6 high for 6 that get for the cost of 1 foundation of top of deck. It's not bad stats. Plus Smash, I don't think this is the right.
Again, it's a slam. It's fine. I don't know if we're necessarily doing stuff with momentum. Not really.
Not particularly, no.
Smashing Nomu. I'm off it.
Yeah. Stun 1. If this attack deals damage, your rival commits 1 foundation. I mean, it kind of forces the block, but it's not enough damage on face. Vanquish punch, stun 1. If your rival has 8 more foundation, this attack gets +3 speed. Seems decent. If this attack deals damage, discard one rifle momentum. Seems decent.
It's all right.
It's a 6 late game. It's a 6 low for 6 minimum, which gets even further, gets even higher.
It's okay. Again, I just don't think it necessarily fits into what we want to do.
I put it in the consideration pile because it's decent stats on its face, but Blue Flame Smolder.
No, we're not doing fire attack. Flame flicker, we're not like doing actions, so that's fine.
Well, I was gonna say, we are doing some fire attacks with rapid punches, and we're guaranteed.
Well, again, that might not necessarily be the deck, and you really want to be playing an all fire package, right?
But it's also the fact that we're guaranteed to remove a card this attack enhanced step, which guarantees it to be a 4 mid for 7 minimum.
What are its base stats? 2-5.
It's a 2-5, which then becomes a 4-7, which then gets additional speed from Nighteye. So it's going to be what, a 5-7, 6-7, and 9-7.
And then, yeah, actually, to be honest, it's a Fury, right? I wonder if all Fury is a thing. Okay, yeah, that's going to be consideration because we are removing cards. We might have enough fires to make it worthwhile. Yeah, Flame Flicker, we're not doing the actions thing.
We're not doing any actions.
Twin Flame Scourge, our character is not Dabby. No. That's out.
Now we come on to the Kurogiri stuff, which is going to be very interesting.
Kurogiri Breaker, we're not of high fan size, you can skip that one. Yeah, Dignified Display. Again, the stats are too puny.
The Flash means that it's not going to go over our character enhance. But if we block it, we get to put it on the bottom. We get to add the bottom of our deck to our hand, which means we're getting to add more see more of our deck.
Yeah, I'm off it.
But the Flash means that we don't get to pump its speed or interact with it, which is great. Nebulous Stare. It builds itself. You can get it up to 6 damage plus more speed. Probably not great though.
Yeah. Well, again, we're not pumping damage on face really, so I'm out. Wargate Portal. I don't think we need to play ones. We're not doing a specific thing we need to be shooting for.
We don't need to be looking for Detroit Smash or anything in particular.
Binding Armbar. No, we're not doing that.
We're not playing those combos.
Flashfire. Fist. We're not doing that.
Discard top 4 cards of your deck. Gift attack.
We're not doing that. Justice Rush isn't very good.
I mean, if this is attacking a couple, it's +2 damage and stun 1. It's the same as what we're looking at with the Smolder, though. It's gonna be a 3 mid for 7, which is then going to become a 8 mid for 7 that are our most powerful.
Yeah, but it's that like. No, I'm off Justice Rush. Needle Stab is okay. Again, we're not really necessarily doing much with the momentum. We're not drawing a shit ton of cards, so I think we can get rid of Needle Stab. USSS, if we're not memeing. Valiant Assault, I don't think we're going to be doing enough punches.
Yeah, we'd be locked into punches if we went Valiant Assault.
Again, chuck it in if we might be doing enough punches.
It's a brilliant strategy, and we're prone to Dry Eyes. I think it would work absolutely beautifully. But it's whether we want to get tight locked into going punches. As Mike said, people are pretty sick of punches. Red Guard. It's a
Red Guard's solid.
2/4 Foot Foundation for more speed. Foot Foundation, it's a very decent block as well. It's Throw Hate.
Yeah, again, if we end up being not keyword locked, we can just have that as a defensive piece in the main. If not, it can be an aside.
I put 2 in just to be on the safe side, but it's also great as we go down the line. There we go.
Get Loud will ignore. It's got mill on it. Create Insulation Cloth. We're not really doing that. We're not doing weapons. Aerial Drop. We're not doing that. We can probably just skip past all of the Eraserhead stuff, really.
Yeah, we don't really need the combo stuff.
No. Drop kick.
Combo kick, no. Karate chop. British swagger. We're not really we're not really drawing 2 cards before.
No.
During the first attack, which is a shame.
No, we're not really doing funny punch.
Hardened uppercut.
Hardened uppercut is a baller.
It's it's a 4-9 at its most. It's a 3-9 at its most powerful EX, and we give it natural speed as well.
And again, it's good for fully blocking and stuff, right?
Good for fully blocking. It's good for preparing for strings, and it's got Fury in case we do want to try and push.
Somnambulism, no. Spinning kick, no. Zipline dart, no. We're not doing assets.
Heroic Clash.
No, we're not meaning.
Hard Steel, I think I already put some in.
Again, if we're doing punches, it's an option, right? Oh, you've already put it in. Hardened Barrage.
We could go the infinite combo line.
We could full Bert and Ernie, so we can add Hardened Barrage in, that's fine.
I mean, yeah, I put a couple in because we're not too bothered about that, but if we do end up needing...
Again, we can just put basically, at this point, just for the benefit of obviously those watching and stuff, we're putting stuff on the table, right? We're just kind of trimming down our options and trying to work out, okay, we've got this pile of stuff, where are we going to go for it?
Yeah, exactly.
And it fires one arrow, double snow, piercing descent, no.
After you put, it's good defensively, not good surprise, but not really what we're looking for. Wire arrow.
No, we're not doing
anti-assets. We're not evil for double blade slash.
No, piercing descent.
We're not enough weapons.
I mean, it's set 2 stuff that isn't back alley haymaker. You can basically skip it. Hellflame javelin. No.
But what about copy hard? No. No copy hard. I'm looking at the wrong one.
Yeah. Punched. No.
Final exam gunshot. I'm just gonna
right.
I'm just gonna put a 4.
So right, let's just have an aside. We can put that in the sideboard because I think actually probably having 4 in the sideboard against like greedy 50 hand size wouldn't be an unreasonable thing to do. But I don't think we ever play that.
It's also a Fury and a Punch, which means we can lead off of it and then go into Violent Assault, into Rapid Punches, going on to that.
Yeah, sure, but the response does nothing unless we're actually doing that thing, and we've decided we're not doing that thing.
You decided to do that thing. I'm subtly.
I made an executive decision.
I am subtly adding more mill options into this deck. You haven't noticed. It's great.
Dropkick Slicer. It's cool. We're not doing Dropkick Slicer.
Ambush, I don't think we get to.
Yeah, but obviously we're not set 2. Invisible Class. No, we're not doing that. Facepalm Takedown. No.
Hellcutt's Punch. After you block this card, anti-hand at the end step, discard top 2 cards of your deck. If it deals damage,
we're not pumping damage, so Harden Crusher, no.
Destroy Smash, no.
Smash for things.
Missouri, it's draw. It's not the most damage, but we get to give it speed. And it's build if it deals damage, which means you're pushing for that. Basically, it's full block me or draw a card, half block me I get to build a foundation.
Yeah, again, if we're doing punches, Missouri's probably not a bad option. And we can put the punch package in there, so you can put Missouri and Texas, right, in the option. Smash just isn't good. The Texas Smash is good.
Binding Cloth Assault. We're not weapons. We're not combo. Well, we are combo, but we're not weapon combo.
Doing binding. Not doing expert flurry.
There's probably a decent. If we had damage on face, there's probably a decent weapon package out there. But you thought speed just isn't good enough.
We're not doing sound waves.
Unwavering Slash is banned.
We're not doing bow staff net or staff strike stuff.
Again, it's a very viable option. Staff strike on all is very powerful.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure we get to the end there because we're not running double front beatdown because we're not Deku or Bakugo, and we're not running Gut or Punk Elbow because we're not comboing weapons.
Yeah. Well, I might wait. Let's Mighty Punch. Discard the top 4 cards of your deck. If you take top block, draw 2 cards.
So it's a 3 mid for 7 with an excellent deadlock ability.
Yeah.
And we make it a 8 mid for 7 at our most powerful. And it's a Fury, which
and it's got a punch, and it says if it's not blocked, draw 2 cards, or if it is fully blocked, we draw a card.
Yeah. Saves go.
I don't think we're going to be doing it, but we can put it on the table, sure.
It definitely adds to the you're gonna
And
have
like
to pass
the
your
deadlock
points.
is sort of semi-relevant, right? At least.
Yeah. For what our ability does, that deadlock, once Mighty Punch is the kind of card, once you see it, you're never going to deadlock. It is a brilliant deadlock for it.
Okay, so let's go back to our deck list now and just see where we are.
We have
And obviously we're
55
gonna,
attacks.
yeah.
Are we going for an even 50, or are we going for more mid range 60?
We can probably go for. I mean, again, I think we just probably go for a more mid-rangey 60 here because we are removing some of our own cards. We don't necessarily want to start with 50, but it's not
No.
that big a deal. So here's the thing. I think we want to play his kit, right? And how much have we? So we got Precision, Steel Strike, Foresight, Fusillade. Is that the only two we put in?
Let's have a look. We got
Don't worry about all this for now. We don't need to look at that stuff. So
precision,
the only stuff we put in are the Precision and the Fusillade.
counter
Oh, and
sweep.
Counter Sweep.
Yeah, foresight fuselage.
Do you want to just move the Nighteye card off the screen, by the way? In the way.
Yep.
Yeah, done. That's cool.
So if we go his package, we have to get rid of the punch package, which means probably Missouri and Texas Go.
Yeah. So the question is, do we want to go with his cards? And I think they work well, right? Or do we want to just play a punch package that we're putting speed on face?
Now, for locals, I would probably put cards with his face on and build around those. But if I was taking this to an RLE, if I was taking this to a provisional, I would more likely go down the punch package route, purely because, as we've seen with other decks, a 7 speed Texas Smash is hard to deal with. And although in Ojiro it was getting to like 11 damage, it's with this, if you can get Sir Nighteye, if you can get him up to 8 damage and you keep replacing the cards in your hand thanks to the draw power, and you can get some prone to dry eyes, you can get some of these other abilities for speed and things that are in the foundations. These punches are going to be very hard to deal with.
So what's his one that draws 2? That one from his kit that draws 2. Which one was that?
That is counter kick, slam, powerful 3. If your rival has more removed cards than you, draw 2 cards.
Yes, I think we could almost play that and punches, right? We don't necessarily need to play all punches.
My biggest issue with that is if we play this, it makes our Texas coming in at a minimum of 7. It makes Valiant Assault coming in at a minimum of 7. So it's a case of like, if we're playing this, we're probably sacrificing the main part of the punch package.
Okay, so let's say we'll go with punches, right? Move the stuff that isn't punches off to the sideboard, and that can be a separate thing, right? Okay. And that's where we play like his kit. We might play Blue Flame Smolder. We might play things like Red Guard Main or
my mouse is
Knee Smash.
I really wish there was an option just to move stuff to the sideboard rather than just having to click at it. My mouse gets to a position. I tried to move it to click, and it either overcorrects or it just doesn't move. Benefits of letting a 5-year-old play on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I'm just gonna start deleting them because it's gonna take too long to mess about that, and we're already getting close to.
No worries.
So anything that isn't a punch can go. I do think Blue Flame Smolder is
and that isn't a punch, though, is it?
No, it's a Fury. But I think I could definitely see something being built around that. But I think that probably goes more into the focused attack build. Will it also be in a mid?
Possibly. So yeah, we can get a red guard.
Damn, it's a lot of punches.
Yeah. Okay. So which ones do we definitely want to play? Well, I think we want to play 4 Texas,
Definitely want to play
4
Texas.
Valiant, and 4 Cat Punch and 4 Rapid. Like that to me, that's the ones I want to start with.
So basically, we only have space for one more talent. I think Mighty Punch is going to the sideboard immediately.
Yeah, it's not good.
I think
Missouri is all right. Again, actually, at this point, it's like you clear everything out and you look at the block zones, right? Barrage is never good enough. I never like it.
But Barrage is also damaged. But I think we probably want to keep. I think if we're going to keep anything after the ones we've got on there, it's going to be hard and uppercut.
Maybe depend again. It depends on block zones, right? Because I think a lot of them are highs that we've got. So I think Texas is a high, and I think Valiant is a high.
Texas is a mid.
Oh, okay. Valiant is definitely,
Valiant's a high. Cat Punch is a mid.
and Rapid Punches is a mid. So we want a low block here, which might be Hardened Steel. What else is low? Final Smash. What is that? That's a mid, isn't it?
Final Smash is a mid.
Knee Smash goes because that's not a punch.
Oh, no, it's not. It's a kick. So we're cutting Barrage because you're not the biggest fan of it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Missouri can go at this point. Vanquishing Punch can probably go. It's a high. We really want a low.
Yeah.
Said.
Yeah, we want to get a low in here, and like Hardened Steel is probably our best option. So what? Just do a reef. No, we want. Well, I was going to say we want to keep Final Smash, but how are we doing? 22.
We want our draw power to be at max. Let's put Valiant Assault up.
I mean, you say that we've got draw and face, and we're going to have.
We've got one draw and face, which is.
Yeah, and we're going to have Chivalrous, right? And we're probably going to have the Momo one. Destined.
Yeah, which isn't guaranteed.
No, but so I think like Valiant could be a 3.
So cut Valiant to a 3, cut Hardened Steel to a 2 or 3.
We could leave it as a 4 for now. Uppercut could be a 2 quite happily, I think.
Well, I mean, if we put Uppercut as a 2, we put Hardened Steel because it doesn't replace our hand, and it's great later game, but that'll get us to 20 with 3 Hand Steel, 4 Rapid Punches, 4 Cat Punches, 3 Valiant, 2 Uppercut, and 4 Texas Smashes.
Yeah, like Texas Smash is like our kill, right? So that's put us at 20. Okay, so what are we looking like block zones here for now?
Block zone 12 mid, 5 high, 3 low. Attack zones 10 mid, 4 high, 6 low.
Okay.
So if we come across an Eraserhead, we're not doing great because most of our attacks are easily blockable by them.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah. Like it changes up the zones. We can probably, and then okay, so we don't want to go too long. So that's like this is version 1.
Yeah.
So we'll have a look at so assets and actions right now. Would be the thing.
Assets and actions. Deadbolt, not probably too great here.
Again, we obviously need to be careful about it because we're only a 6-hander.
Bright Future.
Discard non. I don't think we're not doing non-attack cards from our card pool, right?
I don't think we're momentum driven enough for cremation.
No.
Ruthless
Mockery.
As nice as it is, I'm gonna just have to say I'd rather have Capture Evildoers.
Probably, yeah.
Tracking Device, not a big fan of. Fancy Feast.
No.
The only really looks at Cat Punch, Top Pro Heroes.
I'm here. No, I don't think we do want to do that. It's cute, but I don't think we want to do that.
I mean, if we cut it down to 50, I could see top heroes because each one of our attacks would get rid of the top card of our deck, so we might get to that +3 speed, +3 damage quite quickly. I am here.
Yeah, top heroes just doesn't do enough on its all the time thing that works. Teamwork, I don't think we necessarily have all the symbols for that. Flexion might, we've not got big enough things for that on face because we're sort of comboing.
Probably not.
A little cheeky one, nullify wouldn't be out of question. It's probably one of those underplayed cards. So I wouldn't mind having a one on off.
I just feel like there's going to be a lot more times when I have a nullify in my hand and I'm going to wish it was a Sugar Rush power up.
We can't afford to play Sugar Rush in this deck.
Of course we can. Every deck should be running Sugar Rush. USJ.
Oh no, we're not saying we're not playing the thing that means we have to have more removed, or sorry, less to remove than the opponent. So it's probably okay. Yeah. USJ's okay, but we don't really want that.
Class line does nothing for us.
Training weights, no, we don't want that. I don't think.
Symbol of peace, yeah. Not particularly.
No, we're not doing the X powerful thing. No, we don't want that.
If we increase hand uppercuts, we maybe, but yeah, we're not really winning enough.
I mean, we'll put one Sugar Rush in for now because why wouldn't you?
Ultra compressed weights.
No,
I put one in the sideboard just to be like it's underplayed and it does a lot of stuff.
I don't like it.
Erase no, Earphone Jack no. We're not doing anything for these guys.
No.
We're not winning enough charges for Earphone Jack. We're not winning enough anything.
No, we're not doing that stuff. Capture Evil is always a good one-off. One or two.
I put 2 in just because it does. Price for Peace is an option.
Yeah, I mean we can technically play that card, yes. And we don't get to play Templar, much to Mr. Sam Tate's chagrin.
We could easily play Templar in this deck if it was allowed.
Okay, so this is the process I've gone through. I got my attacks, and then you just go through your actions and assets, and then we'll look at the foundations. And generally, I would try and start with my my zeros, and then work up from there.
Oh, right. Difficulty. Foresight. After you play this card, look at the top card of your deck. Enhance, remove, reveal the top card of your player's deck. It's a low block.
It's basically a better gotcha on the symbol kind of thing. It's decent actually, because again you're sort of confirming your check. I think it's a lot better than it reads.
I think if you're especially if you're playing it early, where like turn 1 you play it, go okay.
Yeah.
Foresight
Again, chuck 4 in. It's spam, right? Every deck needs spam. We became more is bad. Your finished is good. And means we probably might not play so many copies of Foresight because your finished is probably better.
Ignite. Are we ever getting to 10 removed cards?
We just need to do our 1 enhanced 10 times. We need to fling 10 attacks before that happens, or 1 Sugar Rush.
And we need to draw a card, and it's playable while committed as well, and it's a spam. But it is a +3 mid, but when you have got acrobatic, which is
acrobatic is probably better if you want the spam, but we're going to play 4 easily excited because why wouldn't we?
Oh yeah, why wouldn't we play 4 easy? Yeah, easily excited is one of the best. Absolutely love it.
And then, to be honest, if we want, I mean, we could play some floatings. That's a way of getting damage.
That's true, but
doesn't matter.
We're not playing. Yeah, I was just thinking we're not playing.
Oh god, we can play. We can't be fixed as well. We've got so much spam we can play.
It can't be fixed. Has to go in. It's just too damn good. And then that's the end of it for zeros, ones. I'm just gonna go look for Chivalrous right now.
Yeah.
But we can play Polite Well Spoken. Nice.
Yeah.
Chivalrous 4 of.
I mean, yeah, Chivalrous goes in as 4. That's fine.
So let's go back up to out. Sir Nighteye and All Might. First enhance, commit, add the top card of your rival's discard pile to the top of their deck. It's a commit cost, no.
Yeah, I don't like it. And I mean, the Deadlock's nice, but no.
Human
Garbage. No, I don't like it. Some people have said they like it, but I don't like it.
We're not playing from anywhere else. We're not playing from anywhere else, so those two are out.
But it's text, so we're not doing that. Once per turn, discard the top card of the deck. If it's an attack, this gets +2 speed. No.
Kindle of Flames? I mean, it rewards us for blocking, which we're going to try and do in that turn anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's an option. Again, we can put it on the table.
I'd at least we'll, like, say 2 so we can try and get them out. Public support. I know a lot of people love
We're not really discarding stuff. Again, it might be an option. Like, we are discarding to Texas. We are going to be discarding to the snack times we're going to put in. Obviously, One with Nature's gone. But Firestarter, I don't think we turn on quick enough.
Yeah, you're talking at least turn 4, turn 5 before you even get touched that without Sugar Rush. Polite Spoken is a 6 check, and if we do end up removing it with our own ability.
Yeah, sometimes we get a freebie out of it. So, like, again, it's an option if we need some one.
I've slapped 2 because it's a 6 check. Stun hate on Gas Cloud.
I don't like it. Just like they're not going to care. They'll stun you too. They'll stun you down, take the 2, and then kill you. I'd rather stuff that actually does stuff.
Closing in, we are running Texas Smash, but we don't really care about speed. If it was damage.
Daunting Message, we're not really committing our character. No. Is that the one I think it is?
Yeah, if no, this is Daunting Messages. If your health is less than half.
Oh, okay.
Commit 1 Rival Foundation.
Yeah, that's okay. We want to be. I wouldn't necessarily play it. All worked up because we kind of want a string. I like all worked up.
I'll stick 2 in just because it's a low block and all suffers from low. All worked up. We're not really discarding, so it'd be just for the destruction ability.
I mean, we are discarding, right? We are discarding to Texas. We are discarding to Snack Time. And also, we want a string, right? We want a string. So, I like it. Cool and tough. We don't care about our momentum, really. Full-on attack mode is a nice lock breaker. So we can chuck that in. Snack time, we probably want to play at least 3 of. Yeah, full attack mode, we can chuck a couple in.
Yeah, I need to play around with that a little bit more because it does seem like a really interesting card, and it is damage buff if it hits, and it's also healing.
Well, it's more that it keeps you out of deadlock, right? It's a lock breaker.
Do we care about the response on Zoom? Check the top card of deck. We're going to see what we're revealing first.
No. On card to do things. Intimidating presence, no.
Do we go for the Celebrity Status combo where we put an attack on top of our deck and then we get to draw it?
I mean, yeah. Celebrity Status is solid. Again, it's a momentum out, and I don't think we've got too many of them, so having a couple is fine.
And be able to cycle Texas Smash or be able to cycle Rapid Punches or Violent Assault is really good.
We're not doing actions for late. We're not doing combos really for late riser.
We're not playing actions for Mediator.
Yeah, Destined. We're going to play
3 or 4.
Again, probably start with 4. Like, it's a 1/5/2 height. So 2
Precious Lessons not really destroying for.
We're not really. We're only destroying from.
And Pay for Battle, we don't really need to. Where is?
And then we're into Old World.
Huh.
What are you looking for?
Because we're still on 1s. That's what I was going.
Yeah.
Let's go to 2s. I was like, where's Prone to Drive? So that's not 1. It's, detail on the plan, so that we probably should be running at least 2 of these. After you block with this card, draw 1 card if it had thrown, deals 1 damage, and Sir Nighteye enhance, commit your character, discard the top 6 cards of your other.
No, it goes in the sideboard against throws. probably because
But
it's like a 2.
but it replaces itself as standard. That's a separate ability to the throw, so it's a block that draws another card.
Yeah, again, yeah, probably like a 1 or a 2 of. I know, you're going to talk about the enhance, which we'll never use because it's
I
terrible.
always use the enhance, but I'm just thinking it's a card that, as you said, we're a 6-hander. Every single card matters, and if we can block with this and build and then draw another card, this seems great.
Yeah, it'll probably end up on the chopping block, but sure. The seal of approval. We're not. No one's playing discard. But that does say the magic words. Unless
Draw a
that isn't
card.
a cancel. No, it's
I think it's the fact it's a +3 mid block that makes me want to skip it because we've already got a lot of +3 mid blocks.
after replaceability of my character costs seal or copies. See, that's quite good, but without one with nature,
Yeah, I think it's one that we'd come back to if something else come up. I can't think of
I
if
I would want to play it like as a one-off because there's going to be situations it's good.
it deals with snack time, so but there's not that many options at times where, apart from like you said, one with nature. If my opponent's got multiple of one foundation, I'm not worried about it. But one with nature is a case of you discard for one and they all respond, which is just gets insane.
Crystallize.
Not great. This thing is plus
No.
damage.
Food. We can't. We're not stuffing, so like
I mean, it +1 speed as long as the card pool's clear seems solid.
it's all right.
It kind of encourages them to block, which is not too bad. Intense stare. Discard one more card. Commit one non-character card on your own stage. Not great.
Draw one or more cards. Commit one character.
Non-character card with difficulty equal
Well,
to.
it's point and click, right? It's point and click. We discard a card. We point and click. They're 1 or 0 diff.
I guess it's very situational that you've got something that matches.
Again, probably a one-off.
The only thing I can think of is it works really well with worked up. Because you discard it, you get the damage and bonuses on your.
But it's a form, so you don't.
Oh, you don't, yeah. So yeah, no, I don't like that at all.
But again, it's a point and click. But sometimes relevant. So again, it's a one-off pass through walls after your plays a breaker.
Put 2 of those.
Cancelling the breakers is good, especially when we're trying to combo.
It's also the after your.
It's just got the magic words cancel on it, right? And it's a 6.
Well, look at it this way: if your opponent goes to respond with Eri and you can cancel the Eri ability, it's going to be nuts.
Yeah, like we're trying to play Texas Smash as like our third card or something, like our second card.
Charging one for all, I don't think we need.
No, determined is good.
I think we want a minimum of 3 of those guys.
It depends whether we're. Obviously, it's got good deadlock on it. I would say put it as a 2. I don't know how many things we've got that share 2 symbols, but
it's a 6 check as well, which is good.
Yeah.
Force revert.
After attack deals damage. No, it's your turn.
You cannot play attacks.
No. Pyromania. No, we're not doing fire really.
Bartender is fun, but I don't think.
Reluctant retreat removed. Skull cards. No, we're not doing that. Bartender. No, we're not doing that.
Convenient
timing.
I like convenient timing. Especially if you can get things like it's a momentum out. It can really mess with your rival's turn. And it's just.
Again, maybe put it as a one-off. Eyes the Tiger. Tokiyami isn't a thing anymore, so I don't need to care about that. Spirit's Protector isn't good.
Haughty, if your attack's damage is 10 or more. Nope, that ain't gonna happen. Discard momentum if this is your first attack's turn and you have 10 or less health.
Haughty's just a bad card. Binding Cloth Mastery. No. Dropping in from above, we're not really doing that.
Yeah, we haven't got enough highs to really justify it.
Exhaust the exclamation. We're not really committing our character. I don't care about that. I'm actually a big fan of patient observation, but that was in All for One.
I mean, I like it. It's a breaker block on low, which is very rare. It's a 6 check, and it has speed hate. It has non-keyword blocked speed hate for
Again, we
1
can
1
chuck it as a one-off, I think, for now. We're not doing student. We're not doing Baker because we're not
Really?
consistent.
We,
We're not
we
consistently drawing cards.
we draw on face. We draw with rapid. We
No, we
draw,
don't necessarily. Right on that first attack, we don't necessarily draw.
but then we got rapid punch. So if we start off with rapid punches, we're drawing on a block. We're drawing
It's
on a hit.
it's too conditional to be put in the deck, basically.
Okay.
Uh,
I
com-
would. I personally, I probably would be running it.
well, like we don't get the Sato response, and the top
No.
enhance is too conditional for what we're doing.
I think Inventor, we're not running enough text.
No, here's inspiration. No. Dexterous Pegasus, no. Cover Momentum, no.
Heroic Inspiration, maybe? Remove
Uh,
after you check this. Your next attack is +2 speed, +2 damage.
eh,
Uh,
doesn't do a lot. Showing off.
commit if the attack speed damage is at least double as printed. This attack does not count towards progressive. I mean,
That's
we can
interesting.
easily double speed.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, having
is a
said that, we need
4
to
check.
we need to remove 20 cards to get 4 speed. However, it's really easy to make a cat punch not count towards progressive, right?
Yeah, because you commit 1 foundation, it immediately hits double speed. If you've got easily excited down, you can get there.
I'd put it in as a one-off just because
You like your
it's
one
not
off.
always going to be good, but there's going to be times when it's like, committing a foundation to make your cat punch or whatever your opener not count is going to be decent. Again, it's probably one of those cards that ends up on the cutting room floor, but
I don't think we have enough committal for Spirited Referee, although Cat Punch is a lot of fun with it.
no. Sudden appearance,
appearance.
no.
Yeah. To the rescue, Rival's turn, flip, choose one county capital, it's not count towards progressive.
No.
After you play a Fury Punch attack, seal one rival
Ceiling
collision.
anyway.
True or
If I would pose, no. Watch it from a distance, no.
Mid match invitation, no. Challenging the fakes? Probably not. We're not
No.
really looking to take damage.
Hero Killer.
Hero
probably.
Killer seems interesting because we are looking to remove and we're not too bothered about debuilding ourselves. We're happy to take a turn off, but
Revel. We want to pump damage. Revel's an option.
I mean, we would
It's
essentially
fueling our babies.
we would be losing 2 cards a turn for Revel.
Who cares?
Stick it as a 2.
Doesn't matter. Again, it's one of those cards that mind the game and cut. Unexpected Hero is really good.
Yeah, I'll stick Unexpected Heroes as a 2 as well. Cause, yeah, we're sacrificing speed for damage when we already put speed in. It seems really
It's
good.
more to, and quite often we'll just like, okay, we'll give your attack -3 speed plus the damage.
Evade and Copy is a very good card.
Yes.
But I'd probably still only go with 2.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those things where we might put more in the board.
It is a blank foundation apart from defensively. We have no way to pick it up.
Yeah.
Spooky, we're not really
Spooky, we're not doing that thing. Advice to winners, we're not playing the combo, are we? So I don't need to worry about it.
No, wrong one. That's Award of Victor. Advice to winners is
Oh,
recheck.
okay, yeah. Well, again, don't need that.
No.
Homage, we're not building, so we're not doing that.
Yes, obviously we could probably do a 2.
Yeah, again, it's like, we could play between main and side of Yoss Obvious.
Nightwatch, we're not getting any foundation, we're not getting action. We've got 2 actions, which isn't great.
We're not doing that. Plug in, no. Specialist is obviously going to be a 3, I think.
Yeah. Rising Start, we're not really running weapons. Starting with the basics, we're not running weapons. Villains defeated, I'd still run 2 of it. It's a high block. It's life gain, and if rivals draw a card, we get to draw a card as well.
We don't really want to remove their stuff and make their progressive better. We want to just block. It was good against Odro, right?
It's good against
their
Jiro.
zones.
If you can remove a specialist sound waves, the next one comes in with 1 less damage. You've gained 2 health, and they can't pick that thing back up.
No, I don't think we need it in the main.
I'd add 2. Just
I think there's enough times when it just doesn't do a lot. I wouldn't put the main.
Well, I mean, it's the fact that if think of how much card draw there is floating around now, the ability to draw a card when your rival does is still very strong.
That's not how that works. It's when you discard, you draw a card.
Oh, when you just get into.
There is. It's the Mineta thing. Oh, you think about the Mineta Foundation that makes them commit when they draw.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a different way. I put 2 next to it. We can still cut it, but I still think it's a high staggering possibility. Is just a no.
No.
And then I guess it's the end. So we just have to sort through foundations.
Was there none on the next page? No. So 3s.
Oh, 3s, yeah.
Might be 3s.
I keep forgetting that. There's a 4 now as well, isn't there? But I don't know if that's on our symbols. Quirk restored. If you have 25 or more cards and you discard, no.
No, Rainbow and Hideout.
We're not playing enough good.
Probably. Scout in the Forest, I hate. All Might's membership, we're not doing that.
We're doing 3 good attacks, but
no.
We're not doing All Might's membership. Approach Dry Eyes, put 2 off.
Yeah. Again,
it'd be great if we can get
probably
down.
got.
Carbo loading, we're not really gaining
We're not
health.
gaining health, no. Really.
We're not constantly
improving. No.
We're not
Firehander. No. We're not aiming for number 1. We're not doing the Award the Victor thing. That's what that one is.
And pulling no punches, put in as a 2 of because it's deadlock hating in.
Yeah.
And let's just double check. There's nothing above. Nope, nothing at the moment above a 3.
So we've got quite a lot of foundations.
We had 69. Now we've got 73. You've ruined my joke.
Uh-huh.
So let's have a look at immediately. Let's look at block zones. So we've got 28 high, 44 mid, and 24 low. So
we just need to cut a bunch of mids. Well, we need to cut all of them really, all of the zones, but we need to cut mids especially. So sort by difficulty.
I was going to start by block zone, but okay. Difficulty. Let's start off with the ones that we know we can get to 20 quite easily. So let's get rid of lows and highs, and then we can go for the mids from there.
We don't necessarily need to be 20-20-20, right? We can. Be
I love being 20-20-20.
It's just no. You play the good cards. You don't need to force yourself to again. Like aside on sort of deck building strategy here is having 20-20-20 is nice, but actually having more mids is better. Because they're more flexible, right? You're always going to be able to half block something with a mid.
Okay, right, so we've got 4 3 checks, 26 2 checks, 25 1 checks, and 21 0 checks. The 21 0 checks probably we need to drop to max 12.
I'm happy playing more just because spam is good. But yeah, we can cut. We're going to cut a whole bunch. If we've got 26 2s, that definitely needs to come down a bit.
The 26 2s and we need
to cut a chunk for every area, right? But I'd say the 2.
You got to take into account 2 of those 2s to capture evildoers.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We can keep the captures in.
Yeah, I'm saying when we do it. So we've got 28 3s and 2s foundations. We probably want that down to 14, 16.
Yeah, so we can cut a bunch of those. So
3 checks. We've got prone.
Let's look at our 2s.
Okay, let's look at 2s. We've got passing through walls, which is cancel, which is asset, which is assets are quite big. Intense stare would probably be my first one. So it's a one-off, and I don't think we're going to be utilising that ability as much as we'd like.
No, okay, yeah, we can kill it. That's fine.
Seal of approval. After you have a possibility to a non-character card on the stage, we still have copies. Yeah, the seal ability is, I think, too good to get rid of as a one-off.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Detailing the plan.
I think as a two-of, it's still quite good. I think convenient timing just goes.
Yeah.
We've got two better things to go. Showing off probably just goes.
Yeah, what did showing off do?
Commit if your attack its speed is damage is
Oh
double.
yeah, we
It's
can get rid of that.
determines to evade a cop.
Revel can probably go.
Which one? Revel.
Yeah. Um,
Unexpected heroes only a one. Special two.
I want those. Villains defeated can go. We don't need it.
Sad times.
Polite and well spoken can go because it's blank. It
That's
doesn't
a
matter.
what? That's a one. So we're just looking at two at the minute.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the list. So yeah, kill polite and well spoken, and let's see where we are.
So let's look at stats. 23 low, 37 mid, 26 high.
So what are the difficulties?
What about Foresight? It's a 3 low, which we probably could just.
Okay,
cut.
yeah, let's look at our zeros. We've got too many zeros there, right?
We probably could just cut all of them.
Yeah, your finished is probably better, isn't it?
We're not too bad about looking at the top of our rivals deck, and like you said, your finish is much stronger.
Yeah, kill it.
Acrobatic and floating our babies are both mid. We got them both.
Kill acrobatic. I'd rather have floating. I'd rather move floating. So we've got what 4, 8.
In terms of zeros, I've got 14. Drop floating to a 2 of.
No, I'm happy with that as it is, to be honest.
Okay.
Like, if anything, I would say be easily excited to the 3 and you're finished to the 4 because we've already played the 4. It can't be fixed.
True.
Like, I'm happy playing that amount of spam.
Daunting message.
Can go, I think.
Yeah. Flip if it's a house currently less than half.
Destin can come down to a 3. Full attack mode, I think we need because that's a lot breaking. I don't know if we've got any other ones.
Apart from like all worked up itself, next times a free shovels can't keep.
All worked up can come down to like a 2 and then probably go. Your obvious can be sideboard.
Starting to get lightheaded.
Yeah, your obvious can go. That can be in the sideboard. You don't need it in the main necessarily. And how are we looking at numbers there?
16 low, 24 high, 33 mid. So
just sort of overall, I guess. So how many more cards we need to cut? Basically, 73. So we need to cut 13.
We need to cut 13.
Okay. So we can.
Do we need evade and copy as when we've got a lot of speed hate?
No, evading copy goes in the sideboard against the All Might 3, All Might 4, right? So evading copy can go.
So that puts us to 11.
And then how many? And then what's our block zones at this point?
Block zones at this point, we've got 31 mid, 24 high, 16 low.
Okay, we need to cut some highs. Is where we are.
All worked up.
Yeah, all worked up can go. We can probably cut another
Another easily excited because
easily
we already
excited.
we do speed on face. That puts us 21 high.
And then what's our count at overall here?
That puts us having to get rid of 8 more.
You know what? We can probably just cut the easily excited in total. That still gives us 12.
It'd be
Spam, right?
11, I believe.
Okay.
So look, I've cut them completely.
Yeah.
Graphs 11 zeros, which is still good.
Yeah, that's still fine. Okay.
So we need to get rid of 6 more.
Okay.
We could probably cut celebrity in all honesty. It's a fun little
Yeah.
combo.
What? So look at our attacks. What are our? Do we have any momentum outs here?
We've got a hard uppercut, which is a momentum out, and
And
apart
that
from
is it.
that's it. Yeah.
See, this is what I like, and this is sort of thinking back to when I built Funny Punch Shinzo. If you're making all punches, your momentum outs are few and far between. So I quite like having the celebrity status there. I still think we need to cut more highs.
We're currently at 19 highs.
Yeah.
It would be full on attack mode that need that's how.
Oh no, we're okay. So actually, yeah, 19, 31, 16. So it's mids we need to get rid of here.
So mids.
So destined comes down to a 2, maybe.
Sure.
Although, wait, let's look at what detailing the plan seal of approval first. What are they?
Seal approval is the one that lets you seal all copies of a foundation, and if it's discarded your other fate, you get to draw 2.
Kill it. It can go. And detailing the plan is the cancel, isn't it?
Is the throw hate that lets you.
Yeah. And I think we can probably cut 1 copy of Capture Evildoers. And again, that's a thing we can put more of in the side.
Okay. Detailing the plan replaces itself yet, and it's the 6-card mill.
Yeah,
2.
cut a copy. Again, just so we can play that as a. I mean, to be honest, I think that's probably where what we cut is the detailing the plans.
Okay. Yeah, it's not definitely not what I would be cutting, but yes. So we're now at 2 more. No, what? 1 more.
Okay. One more card.
One more card.
So determined. We need to block with a foundation that matches 2 symbols, right?
Block with foundation that matches 2 symbols, yeah.
How many do we actually have that have that? I think that card goes. So
1.
We do not have enough. Just scanning through. We do not have enough.
We've got 1, 2.
Yeah, it's got determined goes.
2, 3. Yeah. Both copies?
Yeah, there's not. Yeah. Kill both copies.
That means we're below standard. Below the amount we
That's fine. We just put in another mid block probably. Actually, we play 1 more.
I was going to put
your in. Yeah, we can put the Capture Winners back up to 2.
So I do like seeing them more consistently. It's a nice breaker block, and so that puts us at 60 cards exactly. 2.5 deck stability, which is absolutely great. The highest stability. So some people said, and looking at first hand, yeah, not bad. So primarily, I think this deck would be to do is draw cards, use the foundations to make the attacks.
Yeah, you're just trying to you're not necessarily trying to kill turn 2 here, right?
No,
You're sculpting and defending to the point where you're poking on turn 2, probably not even taking momentum. Like you're just flinging out like a cat punch on turn 2 or something, or rapid punches or a hardened steel, and
that's
you're just trying
why.
to build, and you're trying to like build up like momentum, not actually momentum, but you're trying to build up like your enhance, get those things. So then when you go for your kill turn, you've got your foundation base, so you can string 4 or 5 attacks, sculpt that hand, and you're giving like +2, +3, +2, +3 speed on every single attack
Exactly. And that's
going
why
through.
replacing the cards in your hand with the draws from the punches is so important because it
Mm,
keeps you alive. So you
yeah,
can, yeah, you might be killing turn 2, but you're probably going into your rival's turn 2, having played 2 attacks, drawn for those 2 attacks, built 3, and still having like 4 cards in hand.
yeah. And I think like, and hopefully this has been helpful for everyone watching and anyone watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
And if you are watching YouTube, click all the buttons, do all the things. Um, just to sort of go through that process. Like, I guess this ended up not being the sort of most crazy out there build. Like, it's a
No.
standard. I mean, it's sort of all punches, right?
We sort of
Uh,
we default into a competitive build rather than a fun build, but it's the way it
but we
goes.
got some obviously new cards in there, and sort of. I guess part of it was going through the theory of how we look at trying to build this, right? And going back to the initial, like what we're looking at starting is keep at speed. Let's look for big damage. And so things like Texas Smash, Cat Punch, Uppercut, Hardened Steel to an extent does that. Sadly, the all foundations don't really put much damage on stuff. Is the
No.
issue, right? Which is where maybe putting things like more unexpected heroes in the deck might be more useful. And so we've got but we do have like the prone to dry eyes and stuff.
It's
Um,
definitely interesting to go this route because if we'd have gone the death route, we'd have probably seen more damage buff. If we'd have gone the order route, we'd have seen more stun, and basically we'd have just been building around 1.3 because 1.3
yeah,
kills.
yeah, and obviously he put speed on it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Um, but also then going back to the sort of the early things when we were just looking through the attacks, I think there was an option to just discard the punches entirely and play things like that Dabby attack that no one's really used before, but
Oh
you know
yeah,
looks quite good in here.
that is something that I would definitely
Using
go
his
back and look
kit.
at.
Like we haven't really used much of his kit in here, right?
We've made a deck that if you sat and saw someone was playing Sir Nighteye all, it'd be the sort of deck that a experienced competitive player would know that you're coming at them with. It's not the kind of deck.
Not even necessarily, right? This is just a build,
Yeah.
and like there's plenty of arguments to be made that doing this lineup is just to be better with someone else's character
Oh
on
yeah.
the on top of it, right?
You could. Yeah. It's kind of like this is just all good stuff. You could replace the characters and it would still do the exact same thing. I think specific to his build, go to if you wanted to build a specific Night Eye build, going the smolder route, going that more hard and steel, going more into the remove ability is where we're going. Where we were looking at the speed and the utilization of the draw, but I think if you went more into the, I'm going to make you cycle. I'm going to go for down that mill line of I want to make you mill, not to beat you with mill, but to make my attacks unblockable would be the kind of line I was building. That's why I added a few of my
Well,
cards in.
the mill doesn't do anything, right? Like milling doesn't do anything in terms of his ability. It's because you need to remove the cards. Only really his enhance removes the cards.
But
So that's
if I'm up against a 70, if I'm up against a 60 card deck
mm,
against another 600, they've drawn 6. They play 4 foundations on average turn 1. That means that they have immediately lost 4 cards.
so you're trying to force them to cycle to get the extra
Yeah,
10 in
that's the line
his
I'd be
bit.
going down, which is why I'd be running final exam gut punch. I'd be running the one that I can commit to get damage because once I've blocked and drawn a card, my character's dead on face. So I'm going cool. Mill 6. I would be going down that line because I wouldn't be going my milling kills you. It goes my milling adds a clock for you to have to get more pressure, but by you cycling, I now have 2 more speed.
Yeah,
And because you're losing all of your foundations from Night-Eye's ability, I know you're drawing hot, but I'm also seeing all of your attacks, so I know what block zones to hold. And I know you're going to be checking a lot worse because I've got the ability to selectively remove. I'm starting to remove your cards and discard your cards and making you check worse.
yeah, yeah. Like I think there's certainly a lot of different ways that you can build him, right?
Yeah.
This is I'm just going to build for a couple of turns, poke a bit, try and build up some of that, and then go.
I think what we've ended up here is a compromise deck where I wanted to go more that route, you wanted to go more a different route, and we've compromised on this because it's a nice middle ground.
Yeah.
Which is why originally I thought we were going to be building 2 separate decks, but I can see from the time alone we weren't going to be able to do that.
No. Okay, well, this has been long enough as it is, so I think probably about time to wrap it all up. Yeah. Thanks to everyone that's joined us, and thanks to everyone that's going to be watching on YouTube.
I'll get this up on YouTube tomorrow. Get up on Spotify.
Hopefully, hopefully it's a bit interesting. And obviously,
we've had confirmed Spotify listeners as well, which makes me happy.
Great. So yeah, hopefully this whole process has been interesting, just to kind of get an idea. Obviously, if you've got any comments, things we got wrong, let us know in all the comment sections, all the things.
Let us know what you'd have done differently, what you'd have and let us know what you want us to cover. I mean, we're going through topics that we're coming up with, but we'd love to know your opinions on what topics or subjects we should be covering. Next week we will be having a pre-release sealed sort of breakdown, and we're going to try and get Michael Murray back on because he self-proclaimed pre-released expert.
Yeah. So yeah, next week we'll talk about that pre-release for set 5, which should be a lot of fun.
I'll move over to the end screen and we'll go get some sleep.
Cool. Thanks everyone, and we'll speak to you all soon.
Bye.